On April 22, 2025, a horrific terrorist attack occurred in Pahalgam, Indian-administered Kashmir. Gunmen killed 26 Hindu pilgrims, shocking the world. India quickly blamed Pakistan for the attack, alleging its involvement in cross-border terrorism. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement, calling for a neutral investigation into the incident. The attack sparked a diplomatic crisis between the two nuclear-armed nations. India took swift and decisive action against Pakistan, cutting off various diplomatic and economic ties. They suspended the Indus Water Treaty, which has governed water sharing between the nations for decades. Diplomatic missions were scaled back and cross-border trade and visa issuances were halted. The already tense relationship between the two countries further deteriorated. Pakistan, facing international pressure and accusations, condemned the attack and labeled it a false flag operation. They alleged India was using the incident to further its own agenda in the Kashmir region. Despite Pakistan's denial, a known terrorist group with ties to Pakistan, the Resistant Front, claimed responsibility for the attack, further escalating tensions. The international community watched with bated breath as the situation unfolded. The potential for the crisis to spiral into a full-blown conflict, given the history of violence between the two nations, was a grave concern. The incident served as a stark reminder of the volatility of the region and the ever-present danger of escalation. Both India and Pakistan possess significant nuclear arsenals. This fact hangs over the conflict like a dark cloud, amplifying the potential consequences of any escalation. India, having conducted its first nuclear test in 1974, has a sophisticated and diverse arsenal. It possesses a triad of nuclear delivery systems, including land-based ballistic missiles, aircraft, and submarine-launched missiles. Pakistan, in response to India's nuclear capabilities, developed its own nuclear weapons program. It conducted its first nuclear tests in 1998, shortly after India's. While Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is smaller than India's, it is considered to be rapidly growing and increasingly sophisticated. Pakistan focuses on developing tactical nuclear weapons designed for battlefield use, which raises concerns about a lower threshold for nuclear use. The presence of these nuclear arsenals introduces an alarming element of unpredictability to the conflict. Miscalculation, misjudgment, or an accident could lead to a catastrophic nuclear exchange. The consequences of such an event would be devastating not only for India and Pakistan, but for the entire world. The international community has repeatedly called for both countries to engage in dialogue and take steps towards nuclear disarmament. However, the deep-rooted mistrust and animosity between the two nations have hampered efforts to de-escalate tensions and reduce the nuclear threat. The current crisis is just the latest chapter in the long and bloody conflict over Kashmir. The region has been a point of contention between India and Pakistan since the partition of British India in 1947. Both countries claim the entire region of Kashmir as their own, and this dispute has led to three major wars. The First War erupted in 1947, shortly after independence, and resulted in a ceasefire line that divided Kashmir between India and Pakistan. The Second War in 1965 ended in a stalemate, while the 1999 Kargil War saw Pakistan suffer a military defeat. Despite these conflicts, the underlying dispute remains unresolved, fueling animosity and mistrust. The revocation of Article 370 in August 2019, which had granted special status and limited autonomy to Indian-administered Kashmir, further inflamed tensions. India argued the move was necessary for integration and development, while Pakistan condemned it as illegal and a violation of UN resolutions. Adding to the complexity, the region has witnessed a long and violent insurgency against Indian rule. India accuses Pakistan of supporting and arming separatist groups, while Pakistan maintains it only provides moral and diplomatic support to the Kashmiri people's struggle for self-determination. The international community reacted to the recent events with a mixture of condemnation and calls for restraint. The United States, a close ally of India, expressed solidarity with India and condemned Pakistan for not doing enough to combat terrorism. Other countries, including Russia and China, urged both sides to exercise restraint and engage in dialogue. The potential consequences of a full-blown war between India and Pakistan are too dire to contemplate. The humanitarian cost would be unimaginable, with millions potentially losing their lives and countless others displaced. The environmental impact would be catastrophic, as nuclear fallout would contaminate vast areas and have long-lasting effects on ecosystems. The economic fallout would be felt globally. India and Pakistan are both major economies, and a war would disrupt global trade, supply chains and financial markets. The conflict could also trigger a wider geopolitical crisis, drawing in other regional and global powers. The only path forward is through diplomacy and dialogue. The international community must pressure both India and Pakistan to come to the negotiating table and find a peaceful resolution to the Kashmir dispute. Failure to do so could have catastrophic consequences for the region and the world.